Have you ever caught yourself making excuses and telling yourself, I'm going to start that thing soon, or I'm just not ready yet, but soon? Yeah, me too. We all have, of course. But here's the thing about excuses. They're stopping your future and keeping you stuck where you are. If you let them, excuses will take everything from you. We've all had that little voice in our head that tries to keep us comfortable. It tries to keep us safe. It whispers in your head things like, don't take the risk. Wait till the time is right. But we all know it's never going to be the right time. The only time you're ever going to have is right now. Now is the time. You don't have yesterday. Yesterday's gone forever. And you don't have tomorrow. Tomorrow doesn't exist yet. It hasn't been written. It's not real. Not yet. We can't rely on it. Well, if you're waiting for the right sign, that's never going to happen either. Not really. I think the time to start anything, the right time to start absolutely anything, is always now. Now has got to be the right time to start. My name's James. This is day 27 of my 30-day YouTube challenge to upload a video to YouTube every day for 30 days and do it in the light. It's been a bit tough sometimes. I feel like I've learned a lot, but you know, I've encountered a few problems along the way, but I'm still here, still going. If I wanted to, I could have quite easily looked for an excuse not to do YouTube once I started. But today I want to talk about pushing past excuses and embracing failure head on and taking action, because the only way forward is always through. If you want something in life, you've got to stop waiting and start doing. But everything comes down to action, everything. And yes, of course, you're going to fail. You're going to fail a lot. You're always going to fail at things. But that's not the point, because failure is more than often, it's a price you have to pay to get to the success you want. I mean, looking back 27 days ago now, when I started YouTube, I didn't really have the right equipment. I wasn't really ready. But I thought to myself, what if no one watches? What if I fail? What if I embarrass myself? What if someone sees it? You know, I didn't want them to see that. And I thought about it and I thought, so what if I fail? You know, the first 100 or so videos on YouTube are supposed to be rubbish, aren't they? I mean, everyone says that, but I hope I'm improving. I hope you're still watching. But in reality, you fail and you learn. That's how things work, isn't it? That's how everything works. You fail and you learn. You fail again and you get better, and you fail some more, and eventually you might get a win. I remember the first time I hit upload, I felt really awkward. I was thinking, what am I doing? This is stupid. Should I record it again? But I thought, no one really cares though. I mean, no one's going to be watching. I mean, who wants to watch this 55-year-old wannabe YouTuber? Everyone's far too busy worrying about their own lives. But I knew that the only way to get better at something, at anything, is to basically make that start. So I did. I kept going, and each time, hopefully, I've improved. I had a friend in the army. I'll talk about the army again. He left a long time before I did. We still keep in touch sometimes, now and again. But he went on to build a very successful bushcraft survival school down in Dorset. But I remember before we left, we were sitting in a Land Rover together talking, and I was helping him get resources and equipment from the QMs and places. And he was explaining to me how he prepared himself to start this new venture. I said to him, Wish, come on. I said, so what did you do first? And he said, you built a website. And I said, but don't you need the qualifications and experience before all that? And he said, he goes to me, I'm learning all that. I said, but you should do that first before you start. But he said he wants to go into it head on and just attack it. And I said, but shouldn't you have done this? And should you have done this first? And should you have done that first? But he stopped me and explained to me, no, James, you've just got to start. You've got to start somewhere. It doesn't matter where you start, you've just got to start. It's always important just to make that start. That's the first thing you need to do. And now, he's living the dream. And I'm very jealous. He's doing well. You see, if you don't ever start, you're never going to get to that win. Life isn't about avoiding failure. Otherwise, no one's going to do anything. Life without challenges isn't really living life. It's not really a life worth living. It's just existing. And I don't want to just exist. I want to live. And I think everybody else does too, really. You know, so what approach should I take? Well, not sitting back. Not waiting for the perfect moment. But to keep moving. To keep moving forward. To keep moving towards challenges. To keep moving towards the hard things. Go after the win. With everything you got. Every action creates momentum. And momentum creates the progress. And progress builds confidence. Confidence, though, I've seen my confidence grow on this, and confidence, I think, is everything, especially on YouTube. You've got to start somewhere. You just got to start, like my mate. You can't think your way into confidence, and you can't really plan your way into success. I mean, everyone has a plan. Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face. That's what Mike Tyson said. You have to act. You have to take action. I mean, struggling and going through difficulty, I mean, it's horrible. It's horrible for anyone. There's been times in my life when I've had some quite mundane, boring, horrible jobs. I used to get up in the morning, go to work. Oh, they were mundane, boring jobs. But I kept going. I mean, used to go to work, do the job, go home, get some sleep, and go back in the morning to that same mundane, boring job. I call that a suck, because it sucked. It sucks the life out of you. It drains you. But if you use that suck in a way that you can use it to push you, you don't want to be there for the rest of your life. This is not where you should be. There's more to life than this, and it forces you to move out of that situation and not stay in that suck, not forever. But sometimes we have to go through these things, and it's all about how you frame it, how you take it. What's your perspective? Each challenge you take on, it'll always prepare you better for the next one, and you're always going to have wins if you're hanging there long enough. But you always have losses. You have good days and good ideas and bad ideas, and sometimes you make decent money, and sometimes you lose all your money. It just disappears. Basically, you win some and lose some in life. That's life. But you don't have to let yourself get thrown around by these ups and downs as you gain experience. You can take on that emotion and feel it and where it sends you. Yes, you can. But don't let those emotions control you. Keep pushing forward. When things go wrong, you keep moving forward with everything. The one that succeeds is the one that keeps showing up. The one that keeps moving forward. And sometimes it can be tough. Wish, come on, this way. This way. This way. There's a good girl. Come on. Sorry. Every time you show up, every time you take one more step, you're proving to yourself that you're capable. And the more you prove that, the stronger you'll get. Your excuses will ruin you if you let them. They might make you feel better in the moment, but they won't help you in the long run. If you don't take action and you don't show up, that's on you, that's on me. And when you accept that, that's the most powerful thing in the world, because when you realise you're the reason for your problems and you're the reasons you can't push past that thing, whatever it is, you've realised the solution. Get out of your own way. The easiest thing to do in life is to blame. You blame somebody else, blame the boss, blame the economy, blame the politicians, blame your circumstances. But blame doesn't fix anything. You just take ownership. That's what I try to do. It's easy to say, but that's what I think you should try to do. Take ownership for these things. I mean, in the end, they're your mistakes, and you've got to take control. And you're the one who has to start making the progress. No one's coming to save you. I mean, you want freedom, I want freedom. But what we need, how to get freedom, is through the discipline. I mean, if I did discipline myself and my time to make these videos, even though I leave it really late sometimes, but if I didn't give myself the time to do it and discipline myself to have that time, then I wouldn't enjoy this thing I've started to enjoy and like. You see, discipline isn't a restriction, it's a power. When you start living your life with discipline, you gain freedom, and you can gain freedom in every area of your life. Discipline's like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger you're going to get. You start small. You can wake up early, keep promises to yourself, things like that. These small habits add up, and suddenly, eventually, these little wins, these 1% improvements, they add up. You're a different person. And if you keep staying with it, like I said, you stay with it, you show up every day, and you keep that attitude, you'll get the win, you'll change. I mean, at the moment, I'm still looking for a job. I mean, I lost that job because of my own ego. I said, I'm quitting, I'm not having this anymore. I've stuck up for myself, and I said, I'm leaving. I can do better than this. Look, I've not had so much success finding a job as maybe I've had success doing YouTube, but I've got to hang in there. I've got to keep going, and I've got to approach it with a good attitude. Now I know I'm going to find something, and when I find something, I can improve myself in that situation, and then maybe I can find something better, and then I can make a mistake doing that, and I can get better at it, and I can work harder, and I'll get there like anybody will. I mean, that's the way life works. So excuses stops. You just have to keep going and keep pushing through. Jacko Wilkes said in one of his videos, if you find yourself lost in the woods, you don't just stand there and wait to starve, you start walking. Once you start walking, your perspective changes when you start moving. You might walk in the wrong direction at first, but at least you're moving, and you're getting up and you're getting after it. I probably butchered that, but it's along the lines that you're going to fail, and you're going to fail, and you're going to fail, and then one day you'll get that win. And that's life. I hope you've enjoyed this message. It's a bit different for me to be standing in front of a camera, telling people, preaching to them about what to do with your lives. I'm not that I'm really doing that. You know I don't mean that. But I would like to grow this channel, and I mean I'd like to grow it the right way. So if you would like to subscribe, if you haven't already, or leave a like or a comment, then I would appreciate it. So all I've got to say left now is go and do something that challenges you. And I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for listening.